Hey, welcome everybody to Claim Your Fame episode 3. I am your host, Chris H. from the Blockchain of Fame. I am here with Ayub and Vegan from the Pixel Football League NFT project. Well, welcome both of you. Thank you for being here with me. I really love your project, and being an American, I assume that the football that we have is a little bit different from the football that you have, but I'm sure I'm in the minority. I know your football is the world football, the soccer as we call it.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting to see that you are bringing this to the blockchain in essentially a play to earn, but more of an in-game currency, as I've been, my understanding. But again, clear anything up that may need to be cleared up. Project with really, really funky and cool characters, and just so much that we would probably need a really long time to discuss the white paper. And I just found out that you are releasing a version 2 really soon, so I'm getting very excited to read about that as well. So why don't you start off, quick introduction about yourselves and a little bit about your project, just a couple minutes on it, just like a quick overview.
Do you want to go first, Vegan?
Okay, yeah. So my name is Vegan, originally born and raised in London. I'm the co-founder of obviously the PFL NFT project, which me and Ayub originally came up with. And yeah, so if you want more about the NFT project, what we're planning to do is a play to earn on-chain game, which is also gas free, because obviously we do know that a lot of projects do charge for gas, and gas can add up, especially the price of Ethereum. And we want to be the first metaverse sports league game on the blockchain.
So essentially, we'll have a layer 2 marketplace which will handle the transactions like transfers and club to club transfers, player upgrades, football facility upgrades and stuff, which will enhance the winning chances of each team. Mm-hmm. But the NFTs will all stay on the Ethereum blockchain, so they can be sold on OpenSea, LooksRare, like whatever platform you use. As we know that people want to keep their NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain as it's the main one. So the layer 2 marketplace does help with like progression of the game and adoption. So rather than people forking out gas fees weekly and daily just for upgrades and stuff, we wanted to make it more user-friendly and have the layer 2 marketplace to host that.
Okay, I mean, I think that's somewhat, I don't want to use the word revolutionary, but I think you are very much consumer conscious, and you are trying to fix a problem that so many, games and things on the blockchain get killed by, which is just gas fees. It makes it unfun and it makes it unsustainable. So how are you going to go about trying to reduce the fees to, I believe you said, pretty much zero, correct?
Yeah, so we'll be operating on the Polygon network. So that'll be used for minor transactions, which will affect the NFT event essentially, but the game progression. So if you were to change club or if you were to buy a player, that'll be using the Polygon network, and they'll transfer to that club. So the game will be hosted on there, but all the players would be 100% on chain.
Very cool. Very cool. I love that. And now, just trying to read this very thorough white paper, which you can click on right here if you want to learn more. It's pxleague.net, but you have your home, you have your roadmap and your white paper, and your team and your whitelist. And, I definitely got to talk to you guys about the whitelist, because I think what you're trying to do there is really kind of unique. So why don't we just start there and get that out of the way? Now, I know on your whitelist, you're giving away, I believe, 1,000 spots, it says, and you don't want people to just do the traditional come in and chat and, invite 5 people. So tell me about how you came about a fun and interesting way to get people excited about your whitelist.
So I was trying for a few weeks to go on a whitelist for like squiggles and just NFTs like that. And it just became tedious. Like every day you wake up, go on a Discord, type, invite some friends who aren't even interested in NFTs just to get the chance to get whitelist. So then we sat down, we were like, we'd rather make it interactive because we're not releasing for a while, maybe a month, 2 months. So we've got enough time to fill the spots out. So we decided on just what do people enjoy, like playing games. Modern Warfare 2, everyone's played that. Skill challenges with football related things, like the first 50 people to send a video of them doing 50 kick-ups gets a whitelist spot. We just wanted to make it more interactive because we feel like the whitelist thing was good at the start, but it's just taken a turn where it's just tedious now. It just kills the motivation behind the project.
Yeah, for our project, we were like, okay, because we were all very new to this whole Discord concept and NFTs. And then we had the traditional ways. And then finally I was like, hey, if you just want a whitelist, just tell me. Like, I just like,
Yeah.
you want to support my project? Cool. I'll let you, like, I'll make the hoop not even exist anymore. Let's just come on into the Discord. We'll get to know each other. And
yeah. I feel like when you give the whitelist spots away too easy, it kind of, I'm not saying it's a red flag typically, but it does raise a red flag for some people. Because think about it, you've never even met these people and you want to buy their project, but if they're giving out that easy, it just kind of maybe gives the idea that maybe it's not what they pan it out to be. So sometimes it's good to obviously hold back a little, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, totally. No, I completely hear that as well. And I think the way you guys have done it is kind of like a happy medium. Like, you made it not about the traditional grind and boring monotony that it is, and more about the fun, which I think kind of leads into my next question. The game looks really freaking fun. I love the art. The pixel animation is really, in my opinion, underrated and kind of not done enough in NFTs. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, everything has a pixelated version, but to actually envision this project as a game that is being played out with these great graphics is exciting. So tell me why you settled on pixel to bring this to front and center.
So we had a debate before if we didn't know to do pixel, do realistic art, and then we came to the conclusion that we preferred like retro arcade games, and we preferred pixel, the more aesthetically pleasing. So we just decided to go with that.
Yeah, and plus, obviously, sorry to cut you off. Didn't mean to. It's like it's like the profile picture to it. Like, don't get me wrong, some of them do look very good, but I feel like it's just very common, and not many of them have enough of a purpose. What we want PFL to have is, obviously, we learn from the failures of other projects and how we can obviously improve on that. So with the Pixel Football League, we prefer the pixelated version of things. As Abe did describe, we did have a discussion of whether we want a realistic version or a pixelated version, and we felt like the pixel was the best decision. And obviously with the on-game stuff, it'll be a lot more realistic to make compared to, for example, a real life version. Because obviously, for example, we ain't really EA Sports, are we? So you're making real life FIFA, are we? So we felt like pixel would be a lot more attainable and a lot easier to play as well on the blockchain.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like that. And I like, it seems more like along the lines of, like a 16-bit pixelization. Is that accurate? Like a higher version of pixelization, like not the traditional like Nintendo 8-bit, but more like the Super Nintendo 16-bit in there, somewhere in that range. Okay. All right. And the art's great. The game seems like it's going to be amazing. And I think if people really want to do justice and do their own research, the white paper is very extensive and explains everything more than this interview can cover. But I did want to highlight a few things. Initially, what excited me was that you have almost differing concepts that can be highlighted in this image right here and this image right here. And that is the concept of chairman and player. So take as long as you need, because I think this is a really exciting component of your game. And I'll just try to sum it up as best as I can. The chairman oversees the team and is almost like a super rare version of the NFT and gets more benefits, more PFL tokens. And if the chairman leaves or somebody wants to sell it, it's okay. It doesn't affect anything. But the better the team that they kind of put together, the more the reward will be. And then the players, from my understanding, is the more often that they work together, the more synergistic and better payouts that they will make. Which really, just in a nutshell, and I'm sure I super simplified it, so please feel free to correct any of my misspeakings. That just sounds like very rewarding. Like a lot of people just have a standard PFP and they're like, oh, look at that. That's awesome. This actually is really cool. So tell me about the players, how they have stats, the chairman, how all these things tie into your ecosystem. And if you need to dial it back and explain your tokenomics a little bit more, feel free to start there. Or if you want to talk about the player chairman relationship. And, like I said, you're the stars of the show. I'm just trying to ask the questions that get us all to understand the project's enormity.
Yeah, so in phase one, that's like the start of the minting phase. So everyone gets 3,400 characters are sent out. 200 of them characters will be chairman. So if you receive a chairman, you essentially you gain ownership of one of the 200 teams in the league. And then the players, they'll get paid comparative to their rating. So there's something on the white paper you'll see of the player rating and then how much they'll yield per day and the occurrence of how rare the thing is to receive. Yeah, that's
this. Okay.
Yeah. So the chairmans, they'll receive the most yield per day, plus a 25% tax of all players' wages in their club.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be added to the prize pool, which they can use for transfers or facility upgrades for the club, which improves it. So phase one essentially will be just forming a team of 16 once you receive a chairman, and then the player's role will just be to find the team. And then from there, once we filled out all the teams, there'll be club name and logo submissions, and that'll be added to the chairman's NFT. So that'll be present on the NFT like that.
Yeah, and I like how you put this in here, because I'm sure some people will not mint, and that maybe they won't realize they get a chairman, maybe they won't realize the responsibility, or maybe they might not even know how if they're a little bit unfamiliar with NFTs. But you've thought pretty much of everything, where it says if a chairman does not submit a logo or name, we will create a logo and apply a team name for them. And I think you should probably troll them a little bit, be like, why were you so lazy and forgetful? This is supposed to be a cool thing. Come on, we gave you chairman, step it up. Stop being the worst chairman in the whole damn league. Yeah. But yeah, so I think, so chairman is kind of where everybody wants to potentially be at from a, like an economic perspective. But is there any benefit to just owning a player over a chairman? Like, can you own multiple players? Can I seed a whole team myself?
So per wallet, there'll be a maximum of 2 players allowed to enter the game.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't stop people from having multiple wallets and entering the game, but we understand that'll be a problem, but we're still working on a solution around that.
Okay, no, that's really interesting. And I like how you guys are continually thinking about what might come up and how to have answers for that. Because, one thing being in an NFT project of our own, you think you have all the answers, and then the questions change.
Never do.
Right? The questions is like, oh, didn't think of that one. Whoops, and it's hard. And I appreciate you taking the time to kind of go slow, because I see lately a lot of projects want to go fast. They just want to create crazy hype. They just want to, mint out and then not do anything. And you can see that just from your roadmap, and your updated white paper that's coming out, that you've taken a lot of time. This is a very well thought out, well planned, and I'm sure it's going to be extremely challenging to execute. But from the team you've assembled, it seems like it's going to be done well. So do you want to talk briefly anything else about players or chairman that we want to cover? Or I think we kind of covered it all.
Have you got anything to say, Vegan?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to, obviously, early on, you did say about the in-game PFL, you could earn it. And I just want to clarify to people that this can be converted into Ethereum for people to earn passive income. Because obviously, depending on the project, some people just keep it in-game, but we all obviously have our own coin, so the more PFL you earn, and when the value goes up, you can actually convert that into real money. It's not like it's just fake in-game money, for example. So I just want to clarify it for the ones who are interested and maybe had questions based on that.
Sure. Yeah. And I think that was something that is great clarification because, you can use the PFL to turn it into buffs essentially for your players and for your team, correct? Like that's one of the balancing. It's not just, oh yes, I got one with I got a player with amazing stats, so I'm going to make the most PFL. It's like as time progresses and the more PFL token you stack, the more upgrades and buffs you can apply to your players. And can you do that from a chairman's perspective as well to apply it to the team?
Yeah, so the chairman, their upgrades will be more important than the players' upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
So a good chairman, like he will trickle down the money through the team, which will improve a lot more than individual upgrades. But we're making it so essentially you have to spend most of your PFL if you want to stay at the top of the league, and you have to construct a good team that plays well together with their attributes. And then teams that perform well together, they'll create chemistry links, which will improve over the weeks and over the games. So it's more of just building a good team, building a good club, building a good relationship with the players and stuff, rather than just getting the most stacked players, getting the highest rated players.
Yeah. So you can't essentially just buy your way to the top through getting stacked teams, but as you put the thought and the strategy to test, you'll kind of uncover the best way to make your own little super team. And I think that sounds really exciting. And to your point, Vegan, because I want to make sure that people understand what you said. So if I am a player, and my NFT as a player is earning PFL each day, and potentially some gets trickled down from a chairman, from being on a winning team and things of that nature, what is my best bet if I wanted to improve my player, or if I wanted to use this as a play to earn game to, line my IRL, my in real life pockets? So take me through those two decision trees. First, how will I use PFL to get better at the game? And then how can I also use that in real life currency when you say
So you could use the PFL to maybe you could buy upgrades, for example. There'll also be different accessories available, which could obviously put the player stats up, and you could also send them, for example, to training to work if there was something specific you want to work in, for example, striking, which obviously improve the player's performance, which will in the long run earn more PFL. But if you're talking about in terms of money, you could also, because obviously, as I said, PFL will be a coin which will be available. So you could also link it to your MetaMask wallet, which obviously you could convert into Ethereum if you didn't want to hold the PFL no more and actually just convert it for money.
Okay, perfect. So it is dual purpose, where it acts as essentially just a cryptocurrency, but it also acts as the cryptocurrency within your economy.
Like the coin does have a purpose.
Okay, so staying on player and chairman, essentially, tell me about the stats of a player. As you can see, if you're sharing, seeing my screen, we have attack and defense, and then attack is broken down a little bit more into shooting, passing, flair, which I want to hear about a little bit, and dribbling, and defense is strength, leadership, positioning, and aggression. And now just to build on this, I know you have an algorithm. So I am not physically picking up my controller, my, Joy-Con, whatever, my desktop, and playing the game out, right? It's going to be simulated through your algorithm. Is that accurate?
Yeah. So like, I don't know if you played Football Manager before, for example.
I have.
So it's a game where you could obviously form your team and you could watch how they play during the game. And for example, if you want to make swaps or substitutions, you could also do that. And then obviously it takes you through the games and tells you the stats, who's scoring or if anyone's been injured. So it's more about managing on how they play, not actually obviously physically playing the game like FIFA, for example.
So you do have some control over
So
how your performance is occurring. It's not just set it and forget it. You simulate it, whatever the outcome it is. You do have to interact with it in some capacity to be successful at winning. Correct?
yeah, so for the players, the most they can do for gameplay would just be upgrading their stats before the game week starts.
Mhm.
And then for chairman, they will have the most control over the outcome. So they'll upgrade the club morale, or they'll upgrade the club's training facilities, training plans. So that will improve the players progressively. And then the chairman will have 11 players and 5 subs. So they'll select the starting lineup before the game week, and they'll have to lock that in. And then obviously each lineup will be different, and they'll all produce different results. But there will be like certain weeks where a team who's in first will lose to a team in 50th, just due to the algorithm. We don't want to essentially have a team who's in first who just wins every week and everyone gets bored of playing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. You got to keep them on their toes, right?
Yeah.
definitely.
Damn 50th place team, just underdogs coming out of nowhere. That scrappy bunch,
And that everybody's got the opportunity to win, and we don't want to make it unfair.
Yeah, no, and because you really have that just, okay, I have deep pockets. I'm going to stack my team. My chairman's going to put the most money in, and we're always in first. And so we're going to stay in first. And that sucks, but the fact that you're balancing everything and giving an opportunity to those teams that may not have the deep pockets to get there, or the best players or the best chairman, is really a nice feature. And I think everybody who does game, they expect that there's going to be a little bit of a luck factor once in a while. And that's a really nice thing as well. Okay, excuse me. I just have to clear my throat quick because bodies as you get older are just crappy, right? So yeah, so basically when we talk about this, I just wanted to review the phase one, because that's kind of where you were talking a bit about, there's 3,400 players, and of those there's going to be 200 that are available for chairman, so 3,200 players and 200 chairman, and then it is on the ETH blockchain, and each team has a chairman, and the teams are 16 players, 11 starters, and 5 subs. Is that all accurate?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And now when you go through, tell me about this transfer window and all of these phase 1B and phase 1C.
So phase 1A is literally just getting the players to everyone's wallets, getting everyone so they understand who they have and what they want to do with their players. Give the chairman time to plan who they're going to sign and stuff. Then we'll launch and distribute the tokens. So the chairman will receive a bulk of tokens for all their transfers in phase one. There'll be a salary cap as players get paid comparative to their rating. So you can't just have a team full of 99 rated players from the first week. And then phase 1B will be launching the marketplace to allow the signings and tradings to happen. That'll be open for about 2 weeks. And then once all the transfers are finalized, then we'll start rolling out the game, so the upgrade system. And then at the bottom, we want to reward all early adopters with a free physical card claim. So their player will be printed on like a old school football style card, as well as receiving. We haven't decided what the kit's going to be, but we know a scarf's going to be there and a t-shirt is going to be there.
That is very cool. I like, people like getting that little bit of extra, and that swag is always very nice to add to it. All right. I feel like we've covered so much, but I feel like there's still so much more to cover. So why don't we talk about your roadmap a little bit? And I think we kind of just covered that somewhat, but is there anything that I missed that, in phases, 1, 2, 3, and 4, if you want to just briefly go over them, and focusing on what we didn't already cover.
So the club DAO. So we were still kind of discussing how we were going to perform it. So essentially we were going to have the chairman give up their transfer responsibilities to the DAO, which is shared equally throughout the club, and they agree on who they want to sign, what they want to do with the club, who they want to upgrade, who they want to train, what facilities they should upgrade. But that token will be distributed for free towards the supporters of the early adopters, as we want to just essentially give back a lot to people who mint, because we know it takes a lot for people to mint a new project. So everything in phase 1 and 2, we just giving back to the supporters.
Okay, I like that. And now, do you want to talk a little bit about the partnership and sponsorships?
Yeah. So what's that say?
Thanks, Zoom.
Talk about giving back.
Look at that. So we just talked about freebies, and Zoom is trying to throw me a freebie. Okay. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the partnership, please.
So we want to promote the clubs, like, so essentially a club would, or an existing project like Bored Apes would buy a chairman and then launch Bored Apes FC. So they'll buy players for that club and they'll launch it as their. So we're trying to like progress into projects building teams on our platform.
Okay.
So essentially, it'd be like an NFT league.
Speaking from a project perspective, what is the buy-in for that? Like, if because my partner and I are in touch. Obviously, we're not in touch with Bored Apes or CryptoPunks, but we've been in touch with a few decent mid-sized or projects that are always looking to collab, ourselves included. So if somebody who's watching this happens to be a project owner, how would they go about either contacting you, or what are the details about kind of just coming out and saying, hey, I kind of want to own a team in your league?
So essentially, we'd use the Mint community wallet. If a chairman goes on sale on OpenSea, we'd purchase it. If a club came up to us or a project came to us and they were like, we want to launch a club in the league, we'd essentially transfer the chairman and some players to launch their club.
Very cool.
And then we'd go from there, and then they'd run the club. They'd change the name and the logo, which can be updated. And they've essentially just become owners of that club.
That sounds cool. Well, I'm definitely going to try to get on that list because, I'm already like scheming on how I can get a chairman. I mean, you guys are just making it easy for people now.
That's the whole point.
You're just going to have random people be like, oh yeah, I'm a project, coming up to you like, of course. Yeah. We minted out in 1 second. I'm a project, All right. So let's touch base a little bit about, over here, the player rating occurrence. What does occurrence mean?
So it means how common it is.
Okay. So rarity, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So it adds up to 100%, obviously. So obviously the lower rated players are less rare, which obviously as you go lower in the list, it's a lot more rare to obviously get a 96 plus or a chairman.
Okay.
Because obviously if everybody had a chairman, it wouldn't be no fun with it.
Yeah. No. Nobody wants to see the chairman trot out onto the field, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, get out of here, you suck, go make money in different ways, right?
And obviously it gives people more of an incentive to obviously build up their player. If they do end up with a lower ranked player, like, it doesn't mean it's the end of the road. You can still invest money to obviously improve the players, how they perform, which obviously will generate more PFL.
Okay, and I like how you have everything on a daily basis here. It's being paid out, and I believe you have 4 billion tokens. Is that accurate?
Yeah. So the supply will never be more than 4 billion.
Okay. And when a token is used and turned into an upgradable, is it burned or it's just resubmitted back into the ecosystem? How does that work?
It'll be burned completely.
Wow, nice. Okay, so supply is deflationary. Okay, very cool. All right, let's just touch base on these FAQs quick, and then I will, let you have any closing words or anything that you feel that we did not cover well enough. That Zoom message definitely scared me, even though it was a nice positive message. I don't want to be like, oh crap, now we can't use this. All right, so we covered what the Pixel Football League is. It's an it is correct it's an ERC 721 because it's on the Ethereum network. Is that accurate? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Mint date is coming soon. So about how far? You said a month or two away, you believe?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so
yeah, we haven't got a specific date. It's just a time frame for now. Obviously, as we get closer to the date, we'll obviously have a more clear goal on what to do. And obviously, to miss out, in case people can't see, it will be 0.888 ETH.
Yeah, so, I was going to cover that next, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm going to get through all of them. Don't worry, I promise we're going to get to that. So if people are watching this, it's end of February. So let's say some point between March and April, hopefully we're launching. But just so everybody who's watching this, who's never actually launched an NFT project, there are things that come up, there are things that are unexpected, and there are things where people just want to get it right because, you really only get one shot at this. It's very nerve-wracking. It's very stressful. So, I appreciate you guys taking your time and really getting it right and wanting to not rush out the gate and want to make sure everybody gets what they pay for essentially and get their really the best experience they can. And like you said, the price is going to be 0.0888 Ethereum for the whitelisters, and for the public sale, 0.1. And the whitelisters will have a 24-hour window to, claim before the public sale goes live. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is where you can learn more about the whitelist experience and pxleague.net, which I'll put in the description, and then you have your socials up in the right corner. Definitely check out this white paper, and when version 2 comes out, it's probably going to be even better. Pixel Football League team, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I would like to give you, the floor one last time. If there is anything you would like to share with your potential minters and audience, like I feel like we covered so much, but final closing words or anything we didn't cover enough.
Yeah, so obviously thank you for having us, and if you do want more information, the best place to reach out to us is on Twitter. Sure. But that is at PFL NFT, all in one.
Sure, I'm going to put everything in the video description. And thank you for allowing me to be part of this wonderful experience with you. And I really hope that you guys and us can form some sort of relationship outside of this interview and just chat, and our community hopefully will become part of your community as well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So thank you for this opportunity. I'm going to work on my understanding of soccer a little bit, so when I get on the pitch, I don't suck it up in the game.
Or any questions, just ask us. We're always free to answer any questions anyone has about the project.
Also, would I be able to share screens just to?
Yeah, please. I almost forgot. I know you said you had a brief kind of like sneak peek for us. Do I have to give you permission?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm gonna pause and then give you permission. Okay, so show us what you're working with here.
I see trees.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, oh yeah, I can hear it.
Green, red roses too. I see them blue.
Hi there. Welcome to the Football Pixel League. This video will explain what you need to know. Pixel Football League is a collection of on-chain footballers competing in a league of 200 teams. Players will form teams of 16 and compete in head-to-head games throughout the season until a winner is crowned. Each player is uniquely generated attributes upon mint. The main two attributes are defense and attack. These two attributes will be the pillars of every player and have a numerical value between 55 to 99. Each player will have sub-traits that will make up the main attributes. These traits will have a numerical range between 1 to 99 and will formulate the attack and defense of every player. Now we've got through the boring stuff, let's explain how the gameplay works. After minting a player, you will generate a utility token PFL as a wage for your player's services to the club. PFL will be used for wages and transfers in Phase 1 and will have further utility in Phase 2, so hold on to your PFL. In Phase 2, participants will be able to slightly upgrade their players' attributes using their PFL to increase their chances of victory. If you were lucky enough to receive a chairman, congratulations! You now own one of the 200 clubs in the league and now have a seat at the round table. Once you have signed your players, you will begin collecting 25% of their wages. Only thing left to do is to select your lineup and you are good to go. Oh, and remember, more success means more revenue. Good luck out there.
So yeah, that was it.
That was so freaking cool. I love that. I love the fact that you did that, and I wish we would have done that at the beginning, because then like nobody would have need to hear me for like the last 45 minutes. But you know, again, you guys are gems. I really love your project. I think it's going to be phenomenal. And thank you so much for joining me. All the stuff is going to be back in the links. Sorry, I'm just trying to share the screen so we can actually go out on a nice note here. And again, pxleague.net is the site. Hopefully, if you do plan to mint this project, you all get blessed with some chairmen. And, you know, if not, you get players that are really high, and scoring and attacking and great abilities. And you guys are going really, really far with this, I hope. And I can't wait to throw my support behind it. So thank you. Thank you all for watching this episode of Claim Your Fame. And please check the description for all the necessary information about the Pixel Football League. Thank you all for watching and have a great one.
See ya.
See you.